We are here in Ethiopia.
We have just arrived in Ethiopia. Come on! Something unbelievable is happening in Africa right now, and honestly, most of the world hasn't even noticed yet. Over the last few months, some of the biggest internet personalities on the planet have suddenly started flying to one specific city. We're not talking about Dubai, London, or New York. We're talking about Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And when Dylan Page, better known to millions as News Daddy, landed in Ethiopia this week, the internet exploded. Hundreds of thousands of people joined his live stream, millions watched within hours, and suddenly the entire world started asking the same question: what is happening in Addis Ababa? Because this is no longer just another African capital city. This is becoming the digital heartbeat of an entire continent. And today, we're diving deep into why Addis Ababa is rapidly transforming into the content capital of Africa. The story of how Dylan Page ended up in Ethiopia is honestly one of the craziest examples of internet power we've seen in years. And it didn't begin with a random vacation. It began with Ethiopian social media. More specifically, it started with an Ethiopian news creator known online as Brook News, when one of Africa's biggest hydroelectric projects, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, was being officially inaugurated. Brook News encouraged Ethiopians online to do something unusual. He told them to tag Dylan Page, and Ethiopians absolutely flooded the internet. Thousands and thousands of comments, mentions, tags, messages, green, yellow, red. Everywhere Dylan looked online, Ethiopia was there, and Dylan noticed. In fact, the scale of the online mobilization reportedly shocked him, so he ended up covering the story for his massive international audience.
History has just been made today in Africa. After 14 years of construction and $5 billion, the continent's largest hydropower dam has finally had its grand opening in Ethiopia.
That moment became important because Ethiopians realized something powerful. They could force global attention. And then came the second wave. A major Ethiopian TikTok creator named Adonai later faced serious issues after his account was reportedly banned or restricted. Once again, Ethiopian creators mobilized online, and once again, they tagged Dylan Page non-stop. The campaign exploded across social media, and once again, Dylan responded. This eventually led to direct communication between Dylan and Adonai, but then the story became even bigger. Adonai actually traveled to London to meet Dylan in person. The two creators linked up, spent time together, and even attended an Arsenal match because Dylan is famously a huge Arsenal fan. At that point, this was no longer just internet drama. It had become a genuine international creator connection. And then came the moment that changed everything. Dylan and Adonai decided to travel to Ethiopia together. The internet immediately exploded. When Dylan finally landed in Addis Ababa, the attention was massive. Dylan Page is currently touring Addis Ababa, giving 190 million followers a totally fresh perspective on the country's rapid evolution. He paid his respects to at the iconic Adwa Victory Memorial, toured the city's impressive new riverside developments, and the Ethiopia Artificial Intelligence Institute. His next stop will be Harar and the Afar region. And during the streams, Dylan repeatedly emphasized something important. Instead of simply talking about Ethiopia, he wanted to show people the reality for himself. And that message resonated globally, because for decades, many people outside Africa were exposed to only one narrow narrative about the continent. But now, social media creators are rewriting that narrative in real time.
I didn't know Africa was such a beautiful country. They got cars, they got water, they got Wi-Fi.
Addis Ababa is attracting creators from across Africa, Europe, the Middle East, and the United States. Why? Because creators are always hunting for the next big story, the next city, the next movement, the next cultural explosion. And right now, Addis Ababa feels like the center of something massive. The city has energy, momentum, transformation. Everywhere creators point their cameras, there's something visually powerful happening. Massive parks, modern corridors, new architecture, historic landmarks, Pan-African symbolism, traditional culture mixed with futuristic ambition. It feels unique, authentic, and globally interesting, which is exactly what modern algorithms reward. Digital influence is increasingly flowing through Addis Ababa. So why is this happening right now? Why are creators suddenly obsessed with Ethiopia? The answer is actually very simple. Transformation. Addis Ababa is changing at a speed that shocks first-time visitors. Across the city, giant infrastructure projects are reshaping the urban landscape. The river corridor developments, the parks, the roads, the public spaces, the modernization projects, entire areas that once looked neglected are being rebuilt into modern urban destinations. And whether people agree with every political decision or not, one thing is undeniable. The physical transformation is real, and creators love documenting transformation. Because transformation creates viral content, before and after visuals, street interviews, travel reactions, drone footage, nightlife, food culture, architecture. During his visit, Dylan Page toured the Ethiopian Artificial Intelligence Institute. And that surprised many international viewers, because most outsiders still imagine Africa only through outdated stereotypes. But the reality is changing fast. Ethiopia is now pushing into AI research, digital infrastructure, startup ecosystems, telecom expansion, and creator-driven media. The conversation is no longer, can Africa catch up? The conversation is becoming, how fast can Africa lead? And Addis Ababa is positioning itself at the center of that conversation. For decades, mainstream global media often showed Africa through a very narrow lens: war, poverty, crisis. And while challenges absolutely exist, just like they do everywhere else in the world, that single story became deeply damaging because it ignored innovation, ignored creativity, ignored growth, ignored ambition. But now something revolutionary is happening. Africans are taking control of the narrative themselves, not through traditional television, not through newspapers, through creators, through live streams, through TikTok, through YouTube, through independent digital storytelling. And that changes everything, because when creators with millions of followers walk through Addis Ababa showing modern infrastructure, packed cafes, massive developments, AI institutions, nightlife, and cultural energy, the old stereotypes instantly begin to collapse. People around the world suddenly realize, wait, this is not what we were told. That realization is powerful. And Addis Ababa understands this. The city is increasingly embracing what many analysts now call content diplomacy. Instead of waiting for international media to define the country, Ethiopia is allowing creators to show the reality directly. And honestly, that strategy is working because modern audiences trust creators more than traditional media. That is the new reality of the internet era. And here's the craziest part. This may only be the beginning. Addis Ababa is still developing, still expanding, still evolving. The creator economy across Africa is exploding. The continent has one of the youngest populations on Earth. Internet access is growing. Mobile content consumption is skyrocketing, and cities that position themselves early as digital hubs will dominate the future. Right now, Addis Ababa is making a serious case for itself, not just as a political capital, not just as the diplomatic capital of Africa, but as one of the most important digital cities on the continent. And whether people support the hype or criticize parts of the development, one thing is undeniable. The world is paying attention. The live stream numbers prove it, the creator visits prove it, the viral clips prove it. Addis Ababa is officially on the global internet map. So what do you think? Is Addis Ababa truly becoming the new creator capital of Africa? Could Ethiopia become one of the continent's biggest digital success stories over the next decade? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the fastest changing cities on Earth, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next global transformation story. Because trust me, the world is only beginning to discover what's happening in Ethiopia. Until next time, keep moving forward.